The push press is a movement in our gym that we use quite often. Great way to develop upper body power, a great way to build our strict press, and really any overhead pressing movement, including a handstand push-up. So, Christina's gonna grab that barbell for us, put it up in that front rack. Normally speaking, if you're doing a regular push press, you're gonna do it out of a rack, not necessarily gonna clean it from the floor, but today, that's how we did it. So, what we're gonna do here, similar principles apply as the strict press. Nice front rack position. One thing I want you guys to note is the elbow position here in her front rack. So elbows are in front of the bar, okay? They're not driven so far up though that she's in almost a front squat position, and they're also not behind the bar. She's got a full grip and the bar is resting on top of her front delts here. What you're gonna notice here is the first thing she's gonna do is she's gonna start by driving her knees outward. If you notice, she dipped slightly with her hips, and that's pretty much the extent of the dip that she's gonna do, and she has a fairly vertical shin. We don't wanna see her have her knees, drive those knees forward for me, driving forward where it puts the weight on her toes, but also causes her to lean backward. You can stand straight up. We're looking for power production from both the lower body and the upper body, and we need them to work in sync. So we're gonna sync them up now. We're gonna drive those knees out. She's going to dip. She's going to extend and drive her head through and the bar overhead. Now, if you watch her lower body here, we're getting one certain thing that's really important, and that's actually triple extension of both the ankle, the knee, and the hip as she drives that bar overhead. So dipping again into that power position there, driving up, and give me 3 more reps. Good, and you can relax. So, a couple things to note here. One, she just cycled the barbell there. You're not always gonna be able to do that. Sometimes you need to totally bring that bar down, reset, and then go back into it. You're not always gonna be able to cycle it. If the weight is light, you may be able to. If it's really heavy and we're pushing up into that higher end range there of your strength, you're gonna need to break each rep down individually. Another thing to note, as she ended, she extended overhead, and she brought her head through. So we're gonna focus on that real quick because that's where a lot of folks make a mistake. Put that bar up in that front rack for me. We're gonna drive up overhead, and I want you to notice one thing. She doesn't over-exaggerate her drive. She just slightly moves that head through and under the barbell. Good, same thing again. We don't want to see her over-exaggerate that head drive because it ends up driving her hips back, okay, putting her spine in a compromised position, and the bar ends up back behind her head. Just give me a couple more reps here. Excellent job. And one more. And that's your push press.